Living in a quiet town has its perks: peaceful streets, friendly neighbors, and the occasional summer barbecue. But I learned the hard way that some people take community a little too seriously. In my case, that person was Karen. Karen was the type who believed she single-handedly upheld the moral and social standards of the neighborhood. When she discovered that I owned a property on the lake, a charming little cabin I rented out to vacationers, she immediately tried to rope me into her HOA. "It's just a formality," she said during a coffee chat I barely agreed to. "Everyone does it." I hesitated. The HOA's rules were strict, invasive, and often nonsensical. No floating docks beyond 6 feet, no late-night fishing, no non-native plants near the shoreline. I liked my cabin's autonomy and didn't want to be dictated to by some self-appointed arbiter of good taste. Politely, I declined her offer. Karen's smile faded instantly. I thought it was disappointment, but I soon realized it was something far worse: personal offense. "Refusing the HOA?" she said, leaning in. "That's unusual." She left with a stiff nod, as if I'd committed a crime. A week later, I got a call from the local police. Apparently, Karen had reported me for illegal activities on the lakefront property. Her complaint was vague, ranging from unauthorized dock use to potential safety hazards. The officer was polite but skeptical. "Ma'am, have you checked the HOA records?" he asked. I explained calmly that I was the owner of the property. Silence, then a pause, long enough for me to imagine her turning red with embarrassment. "You own it?" the officer repeated, bewildered. "Yes," I said. "I rent it out occasionally, but I'm the landlord. You can verify the deeds." The officer stifled a laugh and assured me there would be no further action. Karen, I later learned, was furious. She had assumed I was a tenant or someone easily intimidated into compliance. She didn't account for the possibility that I could wield the ultimate authority: ownership. Karen's attempts to enforce HOA rules on my property stopped almost immediately. Any further communication was met with polite, but firm, reminders. The property was privately owned, and her HOA had no jurisdiction. Every angry email she sent vanished into my spam folder, unacknowledged, unread. It wasn't just the sense of triumph that satisfied me. It was the lesson in perspective. Karen had wielded authority she didn't possess, attempting to impose rules on someone immune to them. When that authority collided with reality, the imbalance became hilariously obvious. I still see her at neighborhood gatherings, scanning the crowd as if searching for a rule breaker. I smile to myself, knowing that the one person who could have been her ideal HOA member is untouchable by her rules. The irony is delicious, almost poetic. The very person she tried to control ended up being the landlord, the ultimate decision-maker, and untouchable by her petty complaints. In the end, I learned something valuable. Some people thrive on control, but control is only effective over those who consent. When you own your space, literally and figuratively, attempts at intimidation fall flat. Karen will keep trying, but I've already won. Character count: 4,925, white heavy checkmark.